Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors build confidence and book smarter. And tonight's training is all about resort group bookings. I'm going to break down the difference between flexible groups and contracted groups, where to find them, and even how to submit them correctly. I'm also going to share what you need to know to make sure your clients get the best deal, and of course, most importantly, you get the most commission. If you're live here, go ahead and drop a quick hello in the chat so that I know that you're with me. And of course, if you are watching this on a replay, make sure you comment #replay so that I know that you stopped by. Now, before we get started, and while we're moving all of this fancy stuff off your screen, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you get notifications every time that I'm going live. So, let's go ahead and get started. Here we have resort group book training tonight. Now, let me ask you guys a question. A lot of you guys joining here, you may have never done a group booking before. Let me know in the comments below. Has anybody done a group booking before? We're going to cover a very good topic. Even if you have not done a group booking, you are in the right place. Let me explain. I feel like every niche has some type of group inside of it. Okay, so this week we're covering all groups. Tonight, we're doing groups for resorts. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing groups for cruises. And then the day after, we're going to do hotels and flights. So you are going to learn about groups. It's going to be perfect for really whatever niche you have because it's going to fit all of them, right? So let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about why groups matter when it comes to resorts, the different types of bookings that you can do, like flexible and contracted groups. We're going to talk about Archer travel requirements. I'm also going to talk about how to book in VAX because I feel like that's probably one of the most important places that we do a lot of group bookings. So I'm going to share that. I'm also going to share other supplier options, how to do a commission tracking form in a setting of a group. We're also going to go over case studies. I'm going to give you examples of different groups that you can do. Lastly, pro tips, and of course, always at the end, we will do a Q&A. So if you drop any questions, I will make sure I get all answered by the end of this. So let's go ahead and get started. Why resort groups matter. Honestly, guys, resort groups can equal your highest earnings in bookings. A single group can mean anywhere from 10 to 30 plus rooms and $1,000 in commissions. There are many different types of groups that kind of fit into a group resort setting, like weddings, vow renewals, reunions, milestone birthdays, retreats, and even incentive travel that they do with business. There's a lot of perks that come into groups, like free nights, upgrades, private events, and even they get resort credits sometime for after so many rooms are booked. And honestly, groups are great because they normally equal repeat clients and sometimes even referrals. Think about it like this. One group leader can honestly send you up to 20 plus new travelers who are probably going to keep traveling after this one trip. So if you do everything right, you can have a great little setup system and maybe even a group booking every year because they'll want to return. So let's dive into the different types of group bookings that you can do. One of the most popular ones that a lot of people do is going to be a flexible group that is booked through VAX. I will show you guys that in a second. That's what I was going over before I got on the live. But a lot of the times people will do group ease groups because they are very easy to book. Now, it's a little bit of a process, and I'll discuss that. But essentially, you only need 5 rooms to get started. You're going to still book the reservations individually, and you will get a group ease ID that you will add as like a promo code in the checkout section, and it will automatically sync them together. It's very low risk, it's easy to do, and it's honestly no commitment when it comes to the group setting other than you just have to put the code in every single time. Now, there's not a lot of major perks like there is with a contracted group, and the prices can change because it goes booking by booking. But honestly, it's really good for smaller last minute groups and people that don't want to book all at the same time. You can just add the code as you go. So let's go over that real quick inside VAX before I talk about contracted groups. I just want to show you basically how it works. So here's this. I'm already inside VAX, of course, but all of their contracts that they do or any type of group setting in general are going to be in this groups option right here. So you can see it gives you the option to receive a group. You can customize a group. You can go in here and build it all setting, but I want to scroll down to the most important part right here at the bottom. So we have here the different vendors that you can book the groups through. So as you can see underneath each one of these vendors, they have in Vax, they have options for you guys to do the group requests, right? So booking contracted or group ease with Apple Vacations is easy. You can request the group in 3 different ways. We're going to go in here. Of course, you can call them, email them, but we're going to click on submit a request form. Now they have select brand, selected again, and then they have the different group types. Now we're going to talk about contracted groups in a second, but I'm going to show you flexible groups. Okay. Now, before you get into this, I'm just going to stop and tell you this is not the only way you can book groups. I'm just going to show you the easiest option first, and then we're going to talk about the harder ones in a second. So flexible groups, you come in here, you have to make a group name, destination, whatever the occasion, if there is any occasion, date, departure date, da da da. Now, you will need to have a hotel in mind already set up, so you need to figure out that part before you get in here, and a minimum of number of rooms that you need. You need at least 5 in order to do this. And then any kind of travel party information, the lead's first name and last name, and any additional information that they might need for that group quote. Okay? So when you set this, they will send you an email and they will give you the group ease code. Then even if you already go ahead and do the bookings now, it's okay. You can just go back in there, do the modification, get to the checkout screen, and then add the promo code, even if the booking's already done. So let's just say you had like 4 rooms, right? And now cousin Betty's like, hey, I want to go on the trip too, and I want to book through Ash. I can go in there and then go ahead and book the room, and then I can still, as long as the trip's not taken, I can add it all into a group, okay? Now, when it comes to doing it like this, you will still have the option to only book 4 rooms at a time. What does that mean? So just because I'm booking 4 rooms at a time doesn't mean it's not a group, okay? Basically what you have to do is do like 4 rooms here, 3 rooms here. You can do it like that. Or you can even just do 1 room on 1 reservation, 1, 2, 3, whatever. However it's set up, it's okay as long as you put the group ease code at the promo spot so that you get the group ease discount put in there. Now, what does group ease mean for us and the clients, etc.? Let's get into that. Let me back up 1 page. Yeah. Go back. All right. Learn more about group ease. So this was the page I was on originally. Here we are. Group ease promo codes. So basically, flexibility of bookings include departure date and getaway travel dates. Groups can qualify for traditional compensations, but honestly, there's not a lot when it comes to the groupies. But there's no contract and there's like no set deposit to request it because you're going to be booking it as you go. They do have travel protection plus, but honestly, they can do it per reservation. And then, of course, you have the availability to book it at any time because it's open. So you can request the code here again. They have certain bonus hotel offers, certain like for groups, they have different offers that they give you extra things for. Every month Vax runs one, so check that out. But this is what it looks like. So minimum 5 rooms required for discount, and then you get the discount, and then say the booking total is like over, let's just say it's over 1,000. We'd get $50 per booking, and then as it goes up, it gets better. We're gonna get $200 off per booking. All right. Now, do you guys see why people want to do this? Yes. It's not hard, I promise you. You go in there and you figure out whatever resort you want, okay? We know we have at least 5 rooms, and I'm just going to start booking the rooms. In that time, I'm going to go in there, request a group ease promo code. Once I get the promo code, it takes them a few days to respond, and they send it back to you in the email. They give you the promo code. If I've already booked rooms, I add it. If I'm still booking rooms, I add it at the end. That's it. That's all you have to do, okay? Now, if you have any questions, you can come here. Of course, also, you can always reach out to Archer and they can help you on this part too. Jose does a lot of the groups. He might be able to explain it, but honestly, call backs. Just call backs if you want to use this and you don't know what you're doing. Call backs and they can help you too. They're really good at helping. I've already talked to them today. So just call them and they can help you with that, okay? Now, don't forget with this setting that they also have a rewards program. So make sure you guys are getting your rewards and check for any group promotions in here before you do this. Okay. So that is what they call a group ease. This is only offered inside Vax and it only requires 5 rooms. The rest of what I'm about to talk to has a possibility of being done in Vax, but it's not going to be done the same way. And it's a completely different requirement. All right. That's just group ease inside of itself. So let's go back and continue talking about groups, shall we? The next type of groups we're going to talk about is contracted groups. This normally means that it requires a signed contract on either, if you can do this in VAX technically, or most of the times you're going to end up doing it direct. Whether that direct be you call them on the phone, or the direct hotel, resort, whatever that they're going to be staying at for the group is going to actually have an online portal. We'll get into that too. But it's a whole different scenario when it comes to a contracted group. Okay, you have to have at least 10 rooms. It can go up more, whatever, but at least 10 rooms to be considered a group. This is going to lock in a rate because it's just going to do like a group hold. It's a block. Request it. All right. It guarantees the space is available, and it normally comes with perks, and you better request them. So whatever the perks are, comp nights, upgrade, cocktail parties, whatever it is, right? A lot of the times it does require some type of deposit if you request so many rooms. There are penalties. Sometimes if all the rooms are not completely filled out, there can be penalties for that, and there's stricter terms. So what do we do with that? We send it to Archer. That's what we're going to talk about on the next slide. But don't sign anything. Everything always to Archer before we do anything further, because they work with groups every single day. So that is the benefit of working with Archer, is that they will do it for us. Thank you. Right? But this is going to be best for weddings, retreats, and then large family groups. You don't want to do a group ease if you're doing like 30 rooms. You don't want to do this because you're going to be booking a lot. It's going to take you a lot of time. Now, I have seen sometimes when people like do this kind of setting and like Travel Joy, they can have this kind of setup and they do the group bookings. You could still do group ease that way and then just have them book through Travel Joy if that's something that you use. A lot of people who do groups use Travel Joy. It's a great service, but you can still do group ease that way, right? But when it comes to contracted, you need an actual contract with the hotel that's going to be done between the lead of the group and them, and then Archer too is all going to be involved. So you can't really do that here. Okay, this is a completely different setting. So let's dive into this one a little bit more. All right. Archer travel requirements. There is a nice little site that we're going to go look at inside the Travel Cafe, but you never sign a hotel contract group directly. You always want to have Archer get into it for the review. There is the email right there. You guys can feel free to screenshot that. And then Susie and Jose, they are the ones that work on the group contracts, and they will ensure that the rates are fair and that they're right priced and that you guys are getting commission, because that's a big one. And then all of the terms so it doesn't like screw you over. So we love that. But let's go ahead and head over to the Travel Cafe real quick so you guys get a rough idea of how it works. So I'm already inside the group bookings tab inside the Travel Cafe. It's right here. And you guys can see all the different stuff that they have here. They give you guys a good checklist. We'll talk about that in a second. They talk about the commission tracking form. I'll show you guys that. And then, of course, they also talk about the group bookings cheat sheet as well. So here's the part that pertains to us. That's why I highlighted it. This is just the hotel resort, same thing. Do not sign. That's it right there. Okay, that's all they have for that one. But there is a really nice qualifying client checklist I think you guys should pay attention to, especially for these groups. This is great right here. How many are expected? What's the purpose? The dates, destination. That's good, right? But then it gets real serious right about here. We suggest a group leader for payments. Then you collect only a single payment. Who's the group leader? Deposit requirements, cancellation and refunds, and then service fee approval. If you have any additional fees, you need to let them know. Like, this is good. This is good right here. Travel insurance, any COVID stuff, okay? Contact information, ensure the group leader understands that contracts, obligations, and signs the contracts. Travel agents do not sign the contract. Please send the contract, same thing, to groupcontracts@archertravel.com. And then, yeah, honestly, the only difference really is that you will normally call them. The hotel is what I like to do. I like to call. You can do it on fax. I'll show it to you. But I like to call and just say, hey, I have to get into like their event space coordinator, or they'll have somebody that's designated for that. And you'll say, hey, I need a group contract. Please tell me what's your percentage, what you can get. I normally already have what the person's getting. Like, they'll normally, like, I do this a lot for like baseball and soccer teams. This is pretty common. Like, you just call right before. I've done it like a week before. It was bad. But you can do it, okay? It's very easy to do. So you get the group contract. You tell them, hey, what's your perks? What's the terms? What's this? Like, I just ask them questions like, what's in it for me to book with you as a group rate? That's what I want you to think about. What is in it for me? And you can ask these questions straight right here just to the hotel too when it comes to like the booking payment preferences, the terms, any requirements. Just fill it out yourself. Ask ChatGPT to help you on that questionnaire. But once they get all the details, they send it to you in an email. You're going to forward that email to Archer. Archer says, yes, go ahead. Then you're going to take that same contract and give it to the group leader. They will do the contract with the hotel. All right. But make sure it's in there that you're getting paid. That's the biggest thing. You want to make sure it's in there. Okay. That's how you do it over the phone. But let's see if we can dive in over here to Vax. Come here, Vax. Yeah. Groups. All right. Now, here is, I have to go start customizing. Customize. No, that's not how I want to do it. 1 second. Groups on Vax. Okay, fine. We'll go this way. Let's do the same way we were before, but this time we'll select a contract. So, Apple Vacations, contracted groups. Now it's going to automatically prompt you to do the group ease one. It's like, look, do group ease instead. But if you can't do that, you got too many people, then you have to do a request. So group name, the origin, destination, total passengers, person per budget. You're doing a request, okay? So they're going to find the stuff for you here. You do have to know the hotel only, right? Hotel information. They have the two choices because sometimes it's blocked out, right? But you have to go in there and put these two requests in here. Number of rooms that you need, departure date, length of stay. They will come back with a group quote. They will come back with it, and they will email you with the group quote. Still the same thing. Send it to Archer. Make sure it's legit. Send it. Get a sign. Same thing over and over. Okay. The only difference is that you're requesting the group online. Now, there are going to be other places that you can do this, and I will discuss that in a little bit. Vax isn't the only one, but we just use Vax the most for this. So get comfortable with Vax and their groups. Okay. I would never really suggest Expedia Tap groups. They have a groups option on there, but Vax is where I mostly use my groups, or I just call directly and get the hotel, be done with it. Okay. These are the most common ways we book them. So let's go back into our presentation, shall we? Now, we've already talked about Archer Travel, so we're good on that one. I've already explained how to book on Vax, but essentially, if you want to screenshot this so you can remember it, that's why I put it in here. You probably aren't going to remember exactly what I said, and we do have this wonderful recording that it will turn into after the live, but always, in case you need it, here's exactly how you do it, okay? Track reservations in simple spreadsheet. Highly recommend because you're going to be doing several reservations. Contact suppliers for group desks. If you need to do a contracted group, you can also request a quote, get the concessions, get Archer to approve. Once cleared, confirm group, and then collect deposits. Boom. Same thing. All right. Next. Other tour operator options. So here's some good ones that I've used in the past and just some other ones that you can really just book direct with. Vacation Express is really good for groups too. I like them. The same process. They do also have charter flight packages, and they're great for Cancun and Punta Cana when it comes to groups. Highly recommend. Sandals/beaches. Those are unique vacations, but they do a lot of weddings, so they do groups. They're good. They only have a 5-room minimum requirement, and they have a lot of good perks when it comes to groups. But I'm going to be honest with you, you need to be a certified sandals specialist to get the best results. But it's easy. Just take the quiz. If you're going to go book in there, do it because you get a lot of perks after you get certified, right? Pleasant Holidays. It's great for Hawaii, Mexico, Caribbean, and South Pacific. You do have to be here for 30 days to get registered for them, but they do groups too. They're nice. Classic Vacations. Sometimes agents find it a little bit cheaper in there, so you can try them as well. But they're going to do more like upscale luxury groups, and they have strong resort partnerships with Classic Vacations. It's a very strong vendor. There's also Delta Vacations, if you guys are registered with them. They do air and hotel group packages, and they have a lot of Sky Miles perks. So if you have somebody that's like a group leader and they have Sky Miles already, use that. Direct resort portals. So if you're not worried about flights and you're just going to be doing resorts only and you're going directly, Hyatt does groups. Rio Pro, you can do groups online. Palace, Hard Rock, AIC, Iberostar, Sandos, Barcelo, Prisma, all of them, okay? If it has a portal, it has probably some group setting directly in there. And sometimes we get better perks for booking direct instead of in Vax. Let me explain. Hyatt inclusive. I have booked several weddings with them. And when I do the group settings for the weddings, that's right there. Hyatt inclusive, they will give you perks on perks on perks on perks. A lot of times, especially with weddings for the resorts, After the bride and groom bring so many rooms booked for their wedding, they get perks for their wedding day, their wedding after. Like they have all like champagne, all this different stuff that they can get. And sometimes they'll even get certain parts of their wedding for free after booking so many rooms. So don't be afraid to book direct. It's the same exact setting as I just showed you in VAX. They don't have a group East code. It's going to be contracted more than likely. Same thing. Okay. Just get the quote request sent in, get it approved by Archer. They sign it, collect deposits. Boom, done. So depending on the type of booking you're doing is going to depend on how you book this clearly, right? Commission tracking form. Now, I'm going to show you basically how you get it started, but there's a whole video on this that I highly recommend you watch before you submit this because it gets a little troublesome sometimes. All right, let me show you. Let me get in here. So I'm already signed into my back office. I'm going to go to the dashboard, and we're going to go Commissions Hub. Right. So here, now, this is the video I'm talking about. Click here to watch Commissions Hub, Group Commission, Tracking Form, step by step. He doesn't go over resorts in this video, so I'm just going to kind of hit it lightly. It's the same idea, same concept, but we'll do New Commission Tracking Form. Then you're going to put the group name here, Bob's Vacation Group. Yeah, always Bob. Thanks, Bob. All right. Man, if they ever go through my commission tracking, there's so many drafts for me doing this. They're probably sick of me here. They're like, wow, this lady never, she just got drafts on drafts. Listen, I trained you guys. That's why. So this is exactly what it will look like. There's a group, and then you'll start building it. You'll put the new travelers in here. If you sit, let's just build one. Come on, let's go. Dun, dun, dun. Bob, Robert, at blah, 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 at gmail.com. Da, 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 da. All right, that's a lot of numbers. Perfect. Great. All right, now, once you get this setting, you typically want to have the people in here that are attached to the reservation. I like to put them all, but if you're booking like 30, 40, 50 rooms, I get that. You don't want to do all that. But then what you're going to have to do is get the primary travelers put in there that are going to at some point be attached to this reservation. For example, if it's me and my daughter staying in the room, okay, we don't care about my daughter, but I am the primary on that, so I need to be in there, right? I would do that the same for every single person that you're putting in this resort, okay? I do this for a specific reason. I want to get paid. So whatever they need, if I need to spell it out, fine. But I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. Duplicate the primary. You only need really one email and one phone number, so you can just put their names, okay? And get rid of all of that. Leave the same email if you want, same phone number, but you can just put it in there like that, okay? So once you're doing that setting, you're going to want to come in here and add a travel component. So new component, add. We're going to just do, it says hotel, but same thing as a resort. Booking date, always make sure it's within 30 days. Listen, I've set up a habit now. As soon as I'm done with the booking, I file the commission tracking form because, guys, it can be reduced to 60% of the full amount if you go past 30 days. So don't do that. All right, let's just say we did it in VAX. So we're going to do Fun Jet. All right, the start date, blah, hotel name, itinerary details. Okay, cool. We got all this important stuff, all right? Hotel name, itinerary details, you guys know what that is. And then currency, estimated commission. And then what I want you to do here for the group booking, you can put the entire estimated commission of all the rooms, whatever the setting is. If you even do a group contract, whatever, the entire commission can go into this spot. You don't have to put per one, okay? Entire, put it all together. The total sales amount can be the exact same thing. Here's the beautiful part about this that people don't realize. When we did the upgrades to the new commission tracking form, you guys all freaked out. And we're like, oh, I don't like this. Let me ask you, do you like the new commission tracking form? Because I'm about to tell you why you need to like it. Here we go. All right. After you submit this, you can edit this at any point in time. So if you do a group booking and you add more people to the group booking, you just go back in there and add them, add the extra reference IDs, whatever, add it all in there as it goes. They didn't have this capability before, okay? So thank you for doing the update, Archer. We love you. Thank you, right? That's really what the biggest part of this is, that we can go in here and add several different components. Even after I'm done doing this resort, if they decided to go on a cruise and it was a group cruise, I can still put it underneath here and it can all go together. We love that, right? Good job. Bravo. Bravo, Archer. All right, so Let's continue it. Now, the big main group reference ID that you will always get, okay, will go into here. It'll be the big one. Promo, ESO, group, E-code, all that. It'll have an ID into it. When you're doing it here, see how it has a group name? As soon as I send out this quote here, they will have a group ID. We will put it in there in this spot right here. If you have several additional reference IDs for activities, if it's included in here, then you will put them additionally here for an activity that's included, okay? But let's just say, please provide one provided to the primary traveler. So if there's no group reference ID, you'll put the main one that's given here, all right? Now, when you're doing these, you can put the additional ones in here, but let's just say it doesn't pertain to every traveler. Then you will do an individual reference ID, okay? Basically, let me explain. It gets a little more complicated. This is also referred to, let's say, for example, all right, we have a group ID and it's TA blah, 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 okay? But Robert, wait, let me go build one more person. Hold on. Let me add one more person so I can explain this better. Come here. All right. So let's add a duplicate, and we're gonna add Robert's sister or Bob's sister. We're gonna name her Sarah. Sarah Robert. Same email, sure, whatever. That's fine. Typically, if it's a real reservation, you'll put the real stuff, okay? But now let's go in here and add my component so I can explain it a little bit better. So we got everything set up. It's filled out here all the way down to the booking reference ID. That's the group ID right here. But let's just say I wasn't able to book Bob and Sarah at the same time. So they actually had individual IDs as well. That's where you put that right there. Okay? That's exactly. You need details. You need to put it in there too. Agent notes, put it in there too. I just did a booking and it was a multiple origin shared hotel. I went at the bottom of this and I let them know there's 2 reservations underneath here. Okay, I did the same thing. I actually had 2 reservations because there's 2 different things. There's 2 parts of this trip that's included. Let them know what it is. Tell them this is a group booking. It includes blah, 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 whatever you need to put in there. Okay, it's going to make it to where they can track it. But the beautiful part is that we can put it all under one. So let's say we go back and then later on we want to come in here and add a different activity. But Sarah wasn't a part of it. Okay, Sarah, let's just say we did an activity and Sarah wasn't a part of the activity. You can still do it all underneath here. You can just remove Sarah off of it. Get out of there, Sarah. She wasn't part of it, right? You guys, that's the most beautiful part about this Commission Trend 4. But same thing, main group ID here, and if there's any individual IDs, they go here. That's it, okay? If you have any questions about it, just go to Archer and ask them. They're going to be way better probably to explain this, but that's the basics. That's how you submit them. I've submitted it before. It's fine. Works great, just like this, all right? Continuing on. So, like it says, here it is, upload confirmation invoice. I would keep this. Keep that on task, okay? There's no uploading right there that they have. They used to have it, but they don't have it in there anymore. So, continuing. You guys get the rough idea, right? Now, I'm going to explain how this works. We're going to play a little case study, okay? I'm going to give you examples of how to do this because I know a lot of you guys, you probably already discussed this, but y'all guys get nervous when it comes to group. A lot of you guys get nervous. When you hear a group setting, you immediately start freaking out. Hold on. First of all, breathe, right? Let's breathe, okay? Do group requests make you guys nervous? Let me know in the chat. Do they make you nervous? They should make you excited. You should be fun. Like, this is great. This means money for you. Woo! Please give me all the group requests. So, let's talk about some ideas of what a group request can look like. First of all, we've got a flexible wedding booked through Group Ease. 6 rooms for Cancun. You can book this and FunJet via the Group Ease code. Guests booked individually. Since they just booked the resort, there's only a $50 deposit. There's no penalties when one room's dropped because they only needed 5 rooms minimum. But what is that result? Stress-free and no risk. Does everybody understand how this is done? Does everybody understand? What I would do is I would go and book those 6 rooms. It's too big for one booking because you can only do 4 in backs at a time. So I would probably do 2 separate reservations. But I would go get that groupies code once I started booking them, right? I'd go in there, do the request. I would get the code, put it in the promo section, check out. They're going to have $50 deposits per room because that's normal for resorts. But let's just say later on, Betty decided she can't go. Well, I'm going to cancel that one room that's in the reservation, but it's still considered a group booking because there's 5 rooms minimum. All right. So continuing. Now we have a family reunion, but this is a contracted fun jet group. Now, of course, contracted groups require 10 minimum, but we are lucky because we got 15. It's for Punta Cana, but it is 1 year out, so we're going to book it a little bit in advance. Perfectly fine. The nice part is that it's contracted. So what does that mean? There are locked in rates. We know that they need at least 15 rooms. They're going to be good to go. But here's a little bit of beautiful parts of the contracted group. Now they get a free cocktail party. They also get a free room. So one of the group leaders, they get to go for free. And they got 2 upgrades that are going to be available because it's in a group setting. That's what a group contract does. Now, here's the beautiful part for a contracted group for the family reunion. Man, those are some very professional families, right? They save some money, and honestly, we're going to earn a little bit of extra commission too. We're going to get a little extra commission. Now, I'm going to tell you, when it says agents earn extra, that's because they're thinking about the rooms that are all being booked. But guys, if they're getting, okay, hear me out. Hold on. All right, we're going to have a secret conversation. Ready? Let's go. I'm just kidding. All right, hear me out. So if they're getting $200 off per room, I'm just going to leave this out here. But what should you do with a little bit of that extra $200? Comment below if you're vibing on the same level as me. What should we do with all of that extra $200 that they're getting off? I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, we should add $50 in commission. Maybe. Okay, let's think about it. All right, we're not going to share that with our client. But if they're getting the promo code, let's get a little extra stuff for our too. All right. Okay, we had that discussion. Continue. Now, here's another case study. Sandals Wedding Group, 12 rooms. All right, technically they only need 5 minimum, so we are more than good. Sandals, okay, booked via Unique Vacations. That Unique Vacations is not, that's supposed to say Classic Vacations. You can book Sandals in Classic Vacations, but honestly, I would probably book Sandals straight through Sandals. Now, here is the perks. I'm going to tell you, this is the same regardless, even with the Sandals. They're going to have some kind of perks like this. They're going to have bride and groom upgraded. They're going to have something like spa, something like that. They're going to get a cocktail party, and they'll probably get a comp night after so many rooms are booked, okay? Now, the couple is really going to like this, obviously, because they get all these cool perks, and Sandals pays really good commission, so we're going to get paid good too, right? Like I said, you can't do that in Classic Vacations, even though it says Unique. It's supposed to say Classic, but it's still the same theory. Either way, you could do it. I would probably go directly to Sandals, though. All right, now, last little bit of pro tips for you and what I like to call gotchas, because we really need that. And when you hear it, I just want you to be like, oh, yeah, gotcha. That's true, right? Now, always ask for perks. Okay, comment below. Gotcha, because you better always ask for perks, right? Comps, upgrades, events, whatever it is. If I'm bringing a group there, you better tell me why I need to book that group with you. Now, I'm not qualifying myself. I'm qualifying you today. Let's go. Also, highly recommend anytime you do a group setting, track the payments in a spreadsheet, because sometimes they're not splitting the total even. Sometimes they're paying per room. Sometimes this, that, whatever, right? Make sure you write down everything, and I want you to submit the commission tracking form as soon as you get the deposits and the reservation numbers are given to you. Go ahead and submit the commission tracking form, because you can always add more to it. But if it's 30 days past, you can submit the commission tracking form, but basically they shorten your commission rate. So go ahead and just set it up. You can just add to it later. That's fine. Go ahead, submit it, get it set, right? Watch for the deadlines when it comes to the cutoffs for the rooms. Now, with the Group E's, there's no deadlines. You have to just have 5 rooms before it goes. That's great. Fantastic, right? But when contracted groups, there's going to be certain deadlines that rooms have to be booked by, deposits have to be paid, and there's always going to be some type of penalty. So you make sure you read it, give it to your client, make sure your client knows what's expected, and then keep them on their guard. Hey, we need to get this done. These rooms aren't booked. Call, make sure it's done, right? You're going to get paid for it because you're getting paid for the bookings. And technically, if they do a contracted group, they can call and book it themselves, right? So just be on it, get on there. Okay. Now, always, lastly, submit all contracts to Archer first, always. And I don't think I covered this one part about where they can book. If they do a group setting and they're contracted, normally they call, or they'll give you a page to book it on. Okay. But typically we call. So anyways, lastly, submit all contracts to Archer first. Do not ever sign a contract. Let Archer see it before you do anything further, because they know what to look for and make sure that you're not getting screwed over. All right. We learned a lot about group resorts. How do you guys feel? You guys feel better about them? Because I remember when I did my first group and we didn't have a training like this, man. And I was like, what do I do? I don't know. And we have our mentors, and that's great. And I love my mentor more than anything. But listen, there's a lot of things that, that everybody knows. So that is why we're here. So you guys can be confident and just go and do the group booking yourself. Do not let group booking scare you. There are a lot of money to be made. Now, let me ask you this. When it comes to your first group, what are you going to choose? Group ease or contract? A lot of you guys are going to do group ease, but honestly, that's more work. That's more work. Contracts are easy. Let me just call and get this contract approved real quick. Here you go. Have a great day, right? Now, lastly, what is the biggest group you see yourself booking? What do you think that you have when it comes to groups? What's your power? All right. Don't sell yourself short, because honestly, the bigger the rooms, the easier it is to book. I hate to say it, but it's easier to book big rooms. Like, they already know what they're doing. They already got the prices set. It's locked in. They're going to go book it. All right. So practice quoting both ways. Okay. This week, if you guys are interested in groups, if you're going to be doing a group, get familiar doing with both. If you're only doing 5 rooms, so maybe 6, 7, 8 rooms, okay, then do group B's. If not, do contract. Go direct if it's easier, or book on one of the tour operators like Vacation Express or Vax or anything. But that is honestly all I have for you guys tonight. Okay, I think I taught you guys a lot. I hit you guys with a lot of information, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're covering tomorrow. Like as usual, if you have any questions, you definitely can go ahead and drop them in the chat. Always, I'll answer them for you. And any further questions beyond that, please contact Archer, because they can get you the answers right then and there, right? Like, they're going to be always our main source of information. I am just here to thankfully guide you guys in the direction that you can go. We have right now, we're going to do group cruises tomorrow, and then flight and hotels for groups as well. And then we have advisor week coming up and content week coming up. And then lastly, and the last week of October, we're going to do a holiday hustle edition and fall into bookings, where we're going to talk about all of the holiday deals and stuff that we have to push coming up in the future. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, comment below, let me know that you enjoyed this training and how it's going to help you. And I'm going to head back to my studio and answer any question that you guys have. I will see you in the chat. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.